Greetings and welcome to This Weekend in Trek, our show about what has, is, and will happen in the world of Trek. It's January 11th, 12th, weekend show, and our guest host is Spoimler, captain of the Ferengi ship Jupiter. Shout out to Grounds and Hounds Coffee for the coffee of the day, Nice List. Yes, it's from their holiday collection. A smooth, dark roast, it's a great start to the day, not just because it's delicious, but because with Grounds and Hounds, you know that every cup saves a pup. Check them out at groundsandhoundcoffee.com. On to This Weekend in Trek. Birthdays first, and there's a lot of them. Jerome Bixby was born on January 11th, 1923. Author of 4 great TOS episodes, By Any Other Name, Mirror, Mirror, Day of the Dove, and Requiem for Methuselah, Bixby, along with director Mark Daniels, was nominated for a Hugo for the Best Dramatic Presentation for Mirror, Mirror, and unknowingly opening the door to a world of Star Trek alternate universe stories. He was remembered in the DS9 Mirror Universe episode, The Emperor's New Cloak, which was dedicated to his memory. Just as an FYI, Bixby also wrote the classic Twilight Zone episode, It's a Good Life. January 12, 1923, was also marked by the birth of Academy Award nominee Jack T. Collis. Mr. Collis is known to Trekkies as a production designer for Star Trek IV, the best one, but was nominated for an Oscar for his work in The Last Tycoon. Cinematographer Andrew Laszlo was born on January 12, 1926. He worked on Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Voyager actress Angela Payton was born on January 11, 1930. She played Aunt Ada in Caretaker. By the way, actor Stan Ivar, who is also in this episode, was born on this day in 1943. Felix Silla was born in 1937. He played one of the Telosians in the TOS pilot The Cage, but is probably better known for his portrayal of Cousin It in the television series The Addams Family, and his role as Twiki in Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, and as Lucifer in Battlestar Galactica. For these appearances, he is our nominee for 6 Degrees of Star Trek Separation, as he has co-starred with actor Ted Cassidy, Lee Bergere, Meg Wiley, Anthony Caruso, John Franklin, who, by the way, also played Cousin It in the 1991 movie The Addams Family, Elisha Cook, Victor Tabak, Tim O'Connor, Eric Server, Vic Perrin, Don Marshall, Seaman Glass, Frank Gorshin, James Sloyan, Jane Robinson, Ray Walston, Earl Bone, Michael Ansara, Alfred Ryder, Sid Haig, Julie Newmar, Barbara Luna, David Opatoshu, Lance Legault, Mark Leonard, Paul Kerr, Harry Towns, Anthony James, Billy Curtis, Walker Edmiston, writer D.C. Fontana, director Vincent Micavetti, John Colicos, Ed Begley Jr., Reggie Nalder, George Murdoch, Arlene Martell, and Larry Cedar. And, in case you didn't know, Mr. Silla also played an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. The Icarus Factor writer, David Assail, was born on January 12, 1947. On the same day, actress Elaine Nali was born. She played a survivor in the first season TNG episode Hyde and Q. Star Trek writer Brad Ferguson was born in 1953. He wrote the books Crisis on Centaurus, A Flag Full of Stars, The Last Stand, and with writer Kathy Ferguson, The Haunted Starship. Chicago native Amelia Crowe was born in 1956. She played the character Zairi in the DS9 episode Rules of Acquisition. Cynthia Blaze was born on January 12, 1958. She played Amanda Grayson, Spock's mother, in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Rocco Joffrey was also born on this day in 1958. He created matte paintings for the motion picture and was the VXF supervisor for the 2009 movie reboot. Marvel Comics editor-in-chief Bob Harris was born in 1959. Matt Malloy, who played the Ferengi Grish in the Enterprise episode Acquisition and voiced the character of Omag in the video game Star Trek Elite Force 2, was born in 1963. DS9 and Voyager stuntman Johnny Martin was born on January 12, 1963. Jeff Bezos was also born on January 12, 1964. I don't have to tell you who Jeff Bezos is, but you may not be aware that he is a bit of a Trek aficionado. He purchased the filming model of the Enterprise from the first 6 Trek films and had it installed in the lobby of his aeronautical and space research company, Blue Origin, and is a major investor in Fandom, which hosts Memory Alpha. And he had a cameo in the Trek movie Star Trek Beyond. He was an alien Starfleet official, by the way, but total nerd cred. Deborah Levin, who appeared as Ensign Lang in 3 Voyager episodes, was born in 1967. On January 12, 1968, John Jackson Miller, author of 9 Star Trek novels, including a Titan novel, TNG novels, Discovery, Picard, and Strange New Worlds, was born. Adam Clark was born in 1970. He played the miner Josiah in 2 4th-season Enterprise episodes, Demons and Terra Prime. Janet Kidder, who played Osira in the 3rd season of Discovery, was born in 1972. Shout out to Miss Kidder, who admitted that she wasn't familiar with Trek, except for TOS, when she started. There are actors, writers, and directors who don't learn the history of a show before they go into work with it, and it often shows. Miss Kidder has said in an interview with Trek Report that Trek is not just a who, it's part of an entire impeccably crafted universe. Overstatement a bit, but let's go with it. Discovery showrunner Michelle Paradise was born on the same day. She served in a number of roles for Discovery, including a voiceover cameo, writer, co-executive producer, and executive producer. Picard's stunt person, Jessie Graff was born in 1984. Lower Decks actor Sam Richardson, who played Vendome in 2 episodes, was also born in 1984. So, did I forget somebody? I can hear my fellow fleetmate Borg King calling out on this. Nope, not forgotten, just leaving the best for last. On this date in 1951, Kirstie Alley was born. Trekkies remember her for her portrayal of Saavik in Star Trek II, The Best One Ever. This was her first feature film role, and she earned a nomination for a Saturn Award for her work. Even though the role was recast for the follow-up movie, The Search for Spock, arguably because Paramount didn't offer her the salary she wanted, she wasn't without work in the following years. She starred in the comedy Cheers for 6 seasons, acting with other Trek stars including Kelsey Grammer, Bebe Neuwirth, and Paul Wilson. She also appeared in multiple series including Masquerade, Veronica's Closet, The Hitchhiker, and the miniseries The Last Don and The Last Don 2. She also worked on the miniseries North and South Book 2 with Jonathan Frakes, as well as with other notable Trek stars including James Reed, Kurtwood Smith, David Ogden Stiers, and Anthony Zerbe. Miss Alley was nominated for Emmy Awards, Golden Globes, Screen Actor Guild Awards, and won the Emmy for her role as Rebecca Howe in Cheers. Miss Alley died in 2022. In Trek series on this day, in 1967, the TOS episode The Squire of Gothos aired. The episode featured actor William Campbell, who later played Koloth in The Trouble with Tribbles and reprised the role for DS9's Blood Oath. His career put him in a large number of movies, some of them low-grade like A Dementia 13th, which, to be honest, I love, and television series, but is not as well known for his charitable works, notably fundraising for the Motion Picture and Television Fund. In 1996, he founded Fantasticon, a sci-fi and fantasy convention, with all proceeds from the convention going to the fund. The awesomeness of the actor aside, the episode is the basis for a lot of controversy and discussion. Is Trelane a young Q? Son of RQ? While never fully decided, a number of writers have tackled the idea, most notably Peter David in the novel Q Squared. If you haven't read this, it's a classic TNG alternate universe novel. Go get it and read it. Staying with classic TOS episodes, a piece of the action premiered this day in 1968. Another unforgettable episode, we get to see Kirk and Spock dealing with the alien equivalent of 1920s Chicago mobs, Kirk trying to drive a stick shift, and the creation of Fizbin. The animated series episode The Jihad aired in 1974. The TNG episode The Big Goodbye was aired in 1987. Not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite Trek episodes. Due to reasons, Picard, Data, Beverly, and the poor Mr. Whalen get stuck in the holodeck, where they are enjoying a Dixon Hill novel, apparently without any of those pesky safety precautions in place. It's film noir meets Trek, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's also courtesy of this episode that I have mangled my NATO phonetic alphabet. You know, the A as in alphabet, B as in Bravo thing, to include the travesty of K as in knife. IDW Publishing released issue number 4 of Star Trek to gold boldly in 2017. January 12, 2000 was the first airing of the Voyager episode Fair Haven. Another holodeck episode, though this time the focus is more of the interactions of the crew, Janeway and Pacific, on the holodeck, and less on the storm that the Voyager is weathering. Filming on Into Darkness began on this day in 2012. Wow, that was 13 years ago. On a sad note, Lillian Evans, an animator who worked in the animated series, died in 2003. Joffrey Brown, a stuntman who worked in the 7th season of Voyager, died in 2014. Key Luke, who played Dr. Donald Corey in the original series episode Whom Gods Destroy, passed away in 1991. Charlie Skeen, a stuntman who worked in Star Trek VI, died in 1999. Trek History of the Future? Well, I owe you guys a Section 31 update and some background, but this is getting long enough already, so we will get to that tomorrow, and my apologies. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.